Next week, the region's only direct mayoral election will take place in Bedford. It was triggered by the death of the existing mayor, Frank Branston, in August.
So what do the 6 candidates stand for? Frank Branston did not belong to a political party, and the other independent candidates are hoping to follow in his footsteps.
Do you accept that a man is innocent unless proved guilty?
Yes, of course I do.
There have been times when just one man has defeated the might of Britain's political parties.
Do you accept that my husband is innocent?
I'm not facing an ambush here. Let's just see what comes out.
Martin Bell defeated Conservative MP Neil Hamilton in 1997 on an anti-sleaze ticket. The man in the white suit became the first independent MP in more than 50 years.
It was a huge honour for me to have supported your former mayor, Frank Branston.
Now he's backing another independent candidate in Bedford. Apu Bagchi is a former Labour councillor.
I think what an independent brings to the office of mayor is a spirit of service in which you serve the people and not the party. You're not being told what to do or what line to take by any political party at all. You're guided only by your conscience and the interests and wishes of the people.
I've got no political baggage. There is a tremendous problem with the political parties because they have got to rely on their what their political masters within the party actually dictate. I don't have that. My policies will be shaped by the people.
Independents have a rich pedigree in mayoral elections, and the late Frank Branston won twice in Bedford as an independent candidate. It was strength and vigour that won votes rather than ideology. This election's other independent candidate, Tony Hare, is a former Tory councillor.
I was involved with the Conservative Party for a considerable period of time, and since the advent of mayors, the mayor model for councils, I really do believe that the mayor needs to be independent, separated totally from party control. I think that is wrong.
All the candidates are distancing themselves from party politics, and the only one at Hustings to wear a rosette, that badge of belonging, was an independent. Joel Mapp, BBC Look East, Bedford.
And there's a special politics show programme this weekend when all the candidates standing in the election for the new mayor of Bedford will have their say. That's at midday on Sunday.
I was going to change this, but it's so bizarre it's worth doing. We all know how hard the athletes are training for the 2012 Olympics, but what about the gardeners?
Spare them a thought.
The Olympic Garden in London is still a building site, but a company from this region is going to give it a makeover.
It means a nursery in Thetford, near Norfolk, has to grow 300,000 plants to cover 250 acres. Sean Peel's been to take a look.
This site on the edges of Thetford Forest is the Garden of the Games. 300,000 wetland plants are being grown here by Salix. It is the UK's largest ever urban river and wetland planting, with over 30 species being prepared. Reeds and rushes, grasses, irises, wildflowers and sedges.
To the untrained eye, these are sedges growing in the water, but they're not just any old sedges growing in the water. Oh no, these are Olympic sedges growing in the water.
How high will they grow eventually?
John Armitt is the chairman of the Olympic Delivery Authority, and today he came to the site to see how his garden grows.
The great thing here is that these are going to transform the Olympic Park, and it's bringing Norfolk to London, and it's great to see businesses like this winning work for the Olympics.
Next spring, they'll be taken to London and planted around the Olympic Park. This is how it's hoped they'll look as they regenerate the waterways and create habitats for wildlife.
This is enormous for us, in that it's effectively doubling the size of the area that we're going to need to grow plants on, and contributing another 30% to the revenue of the business.
In less than 3 years, athletes and spectators will be coming to London from all over the world. And when they get there, a little bit of Norfolk will be waiting for them. Sean Peel, BBC Look East.
In the Olympic Park, not a garden.
Yeah, it looks very impressive, doesn't it?
Very good. Well done to them.
Now, they weigh just 12 ounces and fit neatly into the palm of your hand. Apparently, Egyptian pygmy hedgehogs are becoming the latest must-have pet.
But they'll cost you £150, so they're not cheap. But it hasn't stopped demand at one pet shop in Northamptonshire.
The family just keeps on growing and growing. The tiny nocturnal creatures love slumbering in their hutch. Pet shop worker Ashley Hunt fell in love with them and bought 3. Now she's got 24. The pygmy population explosion, something of an accident.
That was a total mistake. My little sister thought it'd be funny to put the male in with the 2 females. So weeks later, I heard some squeaking and there was 12 babies between the 2 mums.
They're not like other hedgehogs, being very tame. They can't live outside, used to the heat from their native Egypt.
Like the adults, Blake and Streak do like to be handled and are very playful. But like all pets, you need to make sure that you have the time and resources to look after them.
Well, I wanted them because they're slightly different and not everybody has a pet hedgehog. But yeah, they're sociable, they're crazy. That's the best way to describe them.
The pygmies appeal, they'll never grow more than 2 pounds in weight. Inquisitive, but they're not an easy pet, living for 8 years. More baby pygmies are due any time, sure to win someone else's heart. Emma Bohr, BBC Look East, Northamptonshire.
Oh, that was so cute.
They smash all your cups.
They get stuck in the cup, bang. And they move pretty fast for hedgehogs, don't they?
You like them as well?
I love them. Now, can I start off by saying congratulations to Tony Lovell in Peterborough for taking this picture, which is now going to be the September photograph for next year's Children in Need Country File calendar. It's absolutely beautiful. Tony, I love the little squirrel racing up the tree. So congratulations. We look forward to seeing that next year. Now, today, not really much of that sunshine that we saw there in Tony's photograph because of an awful lot of cloud. There it is. And the thickest of that has already produced some rain in some parts. Most of it has been light and patchy. There have been a few heavier bursts. And that'll be the case through this evening and the first part of the night. But I think it'll clear away quite quickly. And the bulk of the night will be dry with some clear intervals, but all the time quite a lot of cloud. And that will act like a big blanket over the top of us. So for many, a much milder night than last night. In some spots, especially in the north, we had 2 degrees Celsius. So tonight, for some, temperatures will be around 9 or 10 degrees warmer. The winds, well, they'll start off in the southeast, but then they'll become west and northwesterly by morning, and they will be light in strength. So, tomorrow, this ridge of high pressure is starting to build in. This weather front pulls away. This is what's going to be dominating our weather, actually, over the next few days. So, tomorrow, yes, there'll be quite a lot of cloud at times, but it should thin and break to allow some brightness and sunshine through. So, for all of us, it's looking a dry Saturday, just a very small chance of an isolated shower in the northeast. And highs of around 16 or 17 degrees Celsius. So, these temperatures are near normal for the time of year. 16 is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. And the winds are light northwesterly, perhaps moderate for a time on the Suffolk coast. So that's Saturday. We may well have a bit of patchy rain during Saturday night, but that's not expected to amount to very much. And Sunday again should be largely dry, but I think more in the way of cloud. That's not to say we won't see any brightness and sunshine, and perhaps a few more showers, but most of those confined to Norfolk and Suffolk, and even here very isolated. And then Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, that high builds back in. So no sign of any significant rainfall at the beginning and into the middle of next week. Near normal temperatures by day with fairly light winds. Just before I go, those your overnight lows. Have a lovely weekend.
Very good. Thank you very much indeed. We'll say that as well. Have a lovely weekend. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Goodbye.